Hello and welcome to Cooking with Kalina. Today we're going to make Tikka Masala burgers, but before we do that, we are going to make some pickled vegetables. So right here in a quart container, I have a half cup of vinegar, white wine, or just distilled, half cup of sugar, and a half teaspoon of garam masala. And we're just going to whisk that until it gets dissolved. Now right now I have a mandolin. Now, as you can see, I'm kind of doing the half of the vegetable to save my knuckles. And if you have a dog, give it to your dog. Harley loves it. Just be very careful. Mandolins are dangerous. Now, I should be using a guard here, but cooking for as long as I have, we don't ever use guards. And if we do, we get made fun of. But I've never had a dog in the kitchen, so that's kind of new. So with the cucumber, as you can see, I do quarter, quarter, rotate, quarter, quarter, rotate. Basically, I just want the flesh. I do not want the seeds. They have a lot of water to them. And that's it. And so after that, just put in the julienne vegetables into the mixture, press it down. And if you could do this a day ahead, it's going to be that much better. So right now, we are going to make basically the flavoring that we're going to introduce to the meat. So we have oil, half an onion, 3 cloves of garlic, 1 tablespoon of ginger, and a half a serrano minced, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, followed by a half teaspoon of cumin, half teaspoon of paprika, and 1/8 of both cayenne and black pepper, and a half teaspoon of garam masala, and salt to taste. So through the magic of editing, I have kind of reduced this cooking down. So we're just going to start with the onions. You want to kind of cook them till they get translucent or even a little caramelized, which is perfectly acceptable. And then next, we want to add the garlic, ginger, and serrano. And we want to cook that until, well, your nose is going to let you know. The flavors and the smells are going to start to bloom. 2 minutes if you want to know. And then we want to cook in the tomato paste. And the reason we cook in the tomato paste is we want to cook off that harshness and kind of accentuate the sweetness of the tomato. And then the next thing that we're going to add after about 2 to 3 minutes is the cumin, the paprika, and then followed by the cayenne and black pepper. Now, when we tried this, we thought it was a little mild. So if you want to get a little bit more aggressive with the serrano and the cayenne, go for it. More spice is always best. And then right before you turn off the heat, you want to add the garam masala. You don't want to add that too soon because garam masala tends to get a little bitter. So I put that in, turn off the heat, and you are done. You want to cool this down all the way in the refrigerator till it's cool to the touch. You don't want to introduce a hot mixture to meat. So now we're going to take equal parts of yogurt, full fat, mayonnaise, probably about, I don't know, a fourth cup of lemon juice. Not too much because it will thin it out really much. And cilantro. Now, my wife didn't buy a hamburger bun, so we had to make those. So moving on to the meat, we have 8 ounces of lamb and beef. And we're going to add that mixture in and we're just going to mix it. And eventually we're going to grind it. Now, if you don't have a grinder, that's perfectly okay, guys. You can easily buy ground lamb and meat and beef. 80/20 is what I prefer to save this step. Now, my beautiful wife Tina is grinding the meat. We're just putting it through. Now, this has all that flavoring that we have in there, the onions, the garam masala, the garlic and ginger. And we're just putting that through. And we just have a meat grinder attached to the KitchenAid. And I have had this KitchenAid since 2003. We are not sponsored by them, but it is a phenomenal piece of machinery. Go and buy one. That thing works fantastic. And if you do decide to grind, one thing that I would tell you is cleaning the grinder attachment can be very laborious. But what my wife is showing you is we took a stale piece of whole wheat bread and we're just going to put that through the grinder when you're done. And it's going to push all of the meat through and make cleanup very, very quick, very, very fast and simple. So if you are going to do the step, do yourself a favor, get any piece of bread, doesn't matter what it is, and put it through that grinder, and your cleanup will be that much easier. You can thank me later. And there we have it. Our meat mixture is done, ready to be pattied. So, with the buns that we baked off, which were a little big, we decided to go at 170 grams, which is 6 ounces. And by the time 6 ounces cook, it's going to be around 4.5 to 5 ounce burger patty, which is a pretty big one, but we made some pretty big buns. So, right now I'm kind of throwing the beef into my hands, compressing it. And you want to do that. You don't want to do it too much because you do want a tender patty, but not too tender. So that's kind of what you're looking for. It's kind of a feel, and that's it. Just kind of play around with it. It should feel right. Shouldn't feel too firm. It should feel pretty soft, which is what you want, in my personal opinion. Nobody wants a dense, hard burger patty. You want something that kind of falls apart as you're eating it. Just kind of form it. Perfect. And that's what you want. You see that little crack there? That's okay. That's what you want. That's kind of a sign of a good tender patty. So we're going to preheat this cast iron skillet and test. We're going to add a little water. See how it kind of fizzles like that? That is perfect. Now, if the water dances, it goes all over the place, your skillet is way too hot and it's going to basically burn the patty and leave it raw on the inside. So now that the water's evaporated, we are going to cook our burgers. And you want to cook them for about 1.5 to 2 minutes per side. And you see the little crack at that first? That is that is okay. That is what you want and that kind of signifies a very tender patty. And we're going to salt this on both sides because we didn't put a lot of seasoning in the meat. If you want to get more aggressive with it, you like things very salty, go for it. Kind of like what I'm doing right now. And we're just going to let the heat do its work. Don't flip it immediately. Let it cook. And the reason we want it to cook is we want it to caramelize. We want that fat to render out. Kind of push it down a little bit because we do have some big buns, and you want that burger to fit the bun. So if you have to kind of smash it down a little bit, that's okay. So after about 1.5 to 2 minutes, flip it, and that's what you're looking for. Nice caramelization, not burnt. And as you see, it was kind of soft there. So flip it, and that is what we are looking for. Kind of push it down a little bit so we get all surface area caramelized and ready to go. And so once you cook these for about 4 minutes, 5 minutes total, both sides, two and a half, you're going to remove these burgers and just let it rest. If you want it cooked a little bit more, like my wife, because she's from Illinois, go for it. She likes her stuff well done. So I put a little oil into that same cast iron skillet and I put our buns in there. And what I like about this is you're griddling the bread. And what that's going to do is caramelize those sugars found in the bread. And it's going to create a nice crunchy barrier because when that burger hits the bread, it's going to release that juices and fat. And we don't want a soggy burger. We want something that's going to hold on and keep its integrity. And this is only going to take about 1 minute tops. You can see the flame is pretty intense. If you want to drop it down, that's fine, but cast iron is really good for this because it holds the heat really well. So as you can see, I'm just kind of pressing down, making sure the bread gets nice and caramelized on the bottom. And then from here, we're going to dress it. We're going to take that delicious mayonnaise, yogurt, cilantro spread that we made. And what that does is that also creates a good barrier. It's going to capture those meat juices so your bread doesn't get soggy. And go ahead and be real liberal with this. I mean, it is yogurt. It's healthy, right? You got to have some sort of healthy with a burger. And we're going to put that burger right on top, as so. Use your spatula. And did you see that little meat fall down? That is perfect. That's what you want. That's a nice, soft patty. And what's really awesome about these pickled vegetables is you do want some sort of acidity because you have the richness of the yogurt mayonnaise base. You have the richness of the beef and lamb and all those concentrated, bold flavors. You do need some sort of vegetable and acidity to kind of wake up the palate. And that's what these pickled vegetables bring. If you don't have any chopsticks, use your hands, use a fork, use some tongs, just spread that on there. It is delicious. Put that right on top and you are good to go. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, give us a like, really helps out a lot, and we'll see you on the next video.